Crystal is in Jerusalem today and joins us live. Crystal, Israel and Hezbollah have resumed fighting today. What can you tell us about that?
Well, Andrew, this has been a front that has been quiet for some time. There was a ceasefire agreement that was in place that was broken earlier today when we saw some attacks being launched from Lebanon towards Israel. There have been a number of strikes across Lebanon throughout the day, including this evening. Israel Defense Forces say that they have hit 70 weapons sites across Lebanon. IDF also claiming that they have killed a senior commander of the Islamic Jihad group. This front does change things. Israel Defense Forces are saying they're not prepared at this point to remove citizens from communities along the border, but they are prepared to defend the border, to defend those communities. And they say they have the personnel and they are able to operate on another front. We do know that Israel recently called up roughly a 100,000 additional reservists in order to have them be a part of this wider operation. The latest numbers that we're getting out of Lebanon is that 52 people have been killed in strikes today. Wounded at last count was 150. So things are very active on that front. We are also, Andrew, hearing from the International Committee of the Red Cross. They have put out a statement really trying to encourage de-escalation in this situation. I just want to read a little bit of that statement from the ICRC president. It says, widening hostilities across the Middle East are putting civilian lives in grave danger. The scale of major military operations flaring across the Middle East risk embroiling the region and beyond into another large-scale armed conflict that will overwhelm any humanitarian response. So another strong response coming out from the International Committee of the Red Cross. This is the second statement they have put out in just the past couple of days, encouraging de-escalation, expressing a great fear about what happens going forward when it comes to the safety of civilians.
And Crystal, we heard from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today. What did he say about the conflict with Iran?
Yeah, he said the overall conflict, he said that, Israel and the United States are working to protect not only Israeli citizens, American citizens, but people right around the world. He is again talking about the need to make sure Iran can't use their missiles, can't use or continue on enriching uranium to move forward with a nuclear program. He said that they are prepared to continue these operations until they reach their goals. He said this while touring a location where 9 Israelis died in a direct ballistic missile site that was launched by Iran, that attack yesterday. And so we heard from him. We heard him talking about the need to carry on with this operation. Let's hear a little bit more directly from the Israeli Prime Minister.
When I stand here in a place that was bombarded by the terrorists in Tehran, against innocent civilians, you see the difference. The tyrants of Tehran target civilians. We target the tyrants of Tehran to protect civilians. I've said for many years that they threaten not only Israel and not only America. They chant death to Israel, death to America. That's their ultimate target. So we set out to protect ourselves, but in so doing, we protect many others. And I want to say special thanks to our great friend and a great leader of the world, Donald Trump, for joining us in this crucial effort to save the world.
Now, how long this military operation will last, we don't know. A lot of discussion right now when it comes to the length of this operation, but we are prepared for another busy night when it comes for attacks here into Israel and also those counterstrikes.
Crystal, thank you. That is the CBC's Crystal Gumansing live in Jerusalem. Explosions are being reported in multiple Gulf states. They include an attack on energy infrastructure in Qatar and a major oil refinery in Saudi Arabia. They are places where the U.S. has allies and military installations. The CBC's Megan Williams is in Dubai for us with more. So Megan, just how wide has this war become and what's the reaction in the region?
Well, Andrew, as you say, it has spread to a range of targets, energy targets, civilian targets. Here in Dubai, warehouses have been hit, hotels have been hit. The two major airport hubs in Dubai and Abu Dhabi were both hit. There's a lot of concern amongst the Gulf states that this could be really quite crippling economically. Dubai, of course, is the biggest international airport hub in the world, but it's also a finance center, a low-tax finance center that attracts a lot of investment. So there are reports that the Gulf states, especially United Arab Emirates and Qatar, are privately lobbying the American government to try and keep this conflict short. There have been attacks in Saudi Arabia as well on the energy infrastructure there, one of the biggest oil refineries, and also in Qatar, which produces about 20% of the world's liquefied natural gas. There were attacks there. They've shut that down and prices have skyrocketed. The prices doubled in Europe for liquefied natural gas. So again, a lot of concern about where this could all lead in the long term.
And Megan, the U.S. military says 3 U.S. fighter jets were brought down in Kuwait today. What can you tell us about that?
Well, that was friendly fire. The Kuwaitis shot down these American warplanes accidentally. There were 6 pilots on board. Fortunately, they all made it safely to the ground. They parachuted out of there. It was quite a dramatic scene, seeing these parachutes lift off from these planes. But this is obviously what happens in wars. There's situations where there's confusion. Countries and even allies get their signals crossed. But fortunately, those 6 pilots made it safely to the ground, and it's interesting. There's also hearing Italy's foreign minister and defense minister announced today that some of the Gulf countries are asking for further defense support. So that might be forthcoming. It's not clear if they have that, but clearly there is a request on the behalf of some of the Gulf states for defense assistance from Europe.
Megan, we're just looking at the skyline behind you, this thriving metropolis of Dubai. I don't know how much of a chance you've had to kind of be out and about, but what would you say the reaction is from people in that city where you are?
Well, just behind me in the sky over the past 3 days now, I've been hearing and seeing explosions from intercepted missiles and drones. I think at first, there was just a sense that this was sort of surreal and not quite clear how long it would last. I think what's happening now is there's a sense of dread settling in. I think the fact that this is a city and this country, the United Arab Emirates, is so dependent. I mean, of course, it has oil, but it's so dependent on international finance and international visitors. And its trademark really has been that it offers safety in a very volatile region. And so that reputation with these missiles arriving here has been shaken. So I think there's a lot of concern about the future of the Dubai model.
Megan, thank you. That is the CBC's Megan Williams live in Dubai.